Ajax are a club that have influenced football as we know it today. Based out of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, they are perhaps most associated with their implementation of tactics known as total football. Rapid passing and transition involves each player on the pitch in attack and defense, resulting in the high tempo and entertaining style of football, which we see more and more in the modern game. On the same note, Ajax have a proven history of developing world-class players, including the likes of Johan Cruyff, Clarence Seedorf, Dennis Bergkamp in the past, and more recently, Matthijs de Ligt and Frenkie de Jong. The relationship that Ajax builds with these kind of players is unmatched. Even with many of them moving to other clubs in Europe, they still maintain a strong connection to the club, and in some cases return back to end their playing career or transition to a management role. In this career mode, we will implement these ingrained club philosophies, maintain the success that they've had in the Eredivisie, and attempt to make Ajax the greatest club side in the world. Hey, what's going on everyone? Flick here. Welcome to episode 1 of our FIFA 21 Ajax career mode. Super excited to get this series going. As I was doing more and more research about the club, I became more fascinated, and I think we can achieve a lot in a condensed amount of time here with Ajax. Whether this is your first time here on the channel or you've been around for a while, I wanted to provide some context on the career mode, walk you through some of the settings that we'll be using, and also talk about what sort of upload schedule you can expect. These are the settings that we will be using: ultimate difficulty turned on along with competitor mode. European competitions are enabled because Champions League is going to be a big focus for us in this career mode. The summer transfer window will be enabled. Ajax have made quite a few transfers both in and out of the club. We may look to strengthen the squad even more for this first episode of the career mode, and for now I've set negotiation strictness to loose until there are some updates to the strict negotiation setting. We're going to keep it at that, although the transfers that we make in this career mode will be realistic. As for the upload schedule, we do things pretty unique here on the channel, covering half a season per episode, where I usually highlight anywhere between 4 to 6 matches that I consider to be important, whether they're derby matches or Champions League fixtures. Also very important to note, I'm expecting this career mode to last 3 seasons, but if we need to go a 4th season, that may be the case. I'll also try to get 2 of these episodes out a week, so hopefully the series will take us until next gen launch in December, as long as I can pick up one of the new consoles. Another thing that's unique about this career mode is that it is heavily interactive. I try to read through the comments of every episode, and in some cases I'll be featuring comments for press conferences. This is a way for you to get a better idea of what goes on behind the scenes of the career mode. In the past, we've had some very creative storylines develop as a result of these press conference questions, and from the post that I made on my channel's community tab asking for questions, I saw a lot of comments mentioning the youth academy aspect of this career mode. I was thinking that in order to keep that a critical objective for us, we promote at least one player from our youth academy each season and have them become a part of our substitute or starting 11. Let me know what you think of that idea, or if you have any others in mind. Also, if you'd like to get involved in next episode's press conference, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you want to show support for the channel and this Ajax career mode, a like on the video is always appreciated. Subscribing is the best way to stay notified of when new uploads go live. The Eredivisie is really going to be a competition between 4 clubs, us, AZ, our rivals Feyenoord, along with PSV. The Champions League, on the other hand, will be an uphill battle. There are going to be teams that have better players than us, statistically speaking, but as we saw from the 18-19 season, Ajax can certainly make a run in the Champions League, and we'll try to replicate that as best as possible in this career mode, maybe take things a step further and win that competition. This will be the squad that will try to take us there. The game loads us up with a 4-2-3-1 formation, but of course we have adjusted the formation and tactics to try to replicate total football using a variation of a 4-3-3. Between the sticks, we have Onana. Him along with Tagliafico are the highest rated players in the squad, both with an overall of 84. Heavily sought after from other clubs, but he continues to stay here at Ajax and certainly performs at an exceptional level. Speaking of Tagliafico, he will be our starting left back. And the thing about this 4-3-3 total football formation is that our fullbacks get heavily involved in the attack because we've got some instructions set up for them. We'll go over that a little bit more later. Our center back partnership will consist of Blind along with Shores. Blind, you guys might know from his time at Manchester United, or maybe from his time at Ajax. He's a bit of a veteran for us at 30 years old. Shore's on the younger side, just 20, so we'll see how this partnership does work out for us. One thing I will say is that they are a little bit on the slower side. 54 pace for Blind, 66 pace for Shores. Maybe we'll look to sign a quicker defender in the future. And we will round out the defense with Mazraoui, another promising right back for Ajax. Of course, Serginho Dest has moved to Barcelona. But in my opinion, we don't need to improve at this position. Really balanced statistics, and again, similar to Tagliafico, will be involved in the attack. Our midfield is absolutely crucial to the tactics that we'll be using. We'll have one more attacking-minded center midfielder in Klaassen. You can see he's a bit more gifted than Gravenberch in his shooting attributes. Gravenberch will be more of the holding midfielder, similar to the role that Frankie de Jong played for Ajax. And then, of course, we've got Dusan Tadic, one of Ajax's top goal scorers. Usually, I would like to play him at the striker position, but because it would take him too long via development plans to convert to a striker, we'll be using him at this center attacking mid, and I'm sure he'll still score plenty of goals. We have quite a few skillful wingers in this Ajax squad. Quincy Promes will feature at the left wing position. By default, he is a center attacking mid, but he's got all the right statistics to be an exceptional winger. 89 pace, 79 shooting, along with 81 dribbling, the 5-star skill move, 4-star weak foot combo, and I like the fact that he is right-footed on this left side. Opposite to him, we have Neres, another 5-star skiller, and he will be left-footed. Pretty similar statistics, 86 pace, 73 shooting, 85 dribbling, will do just fine for us. And to round out the squad, we actually have the lowest overall player. However, I think he's got a lot of potential in Traore. He needs to work on his shooting attributes. That's a bit on the lower side, just 69 shooting. But if we can have dynamic potential take over and he can go up a few in his ratings, then he could still be a long-term player for us here in the starting 11. Squad depth is going to be absolutely crucial for us if we want to stand any chance in domestic and European competitions. Stecklenburg is our backup goalkeeper, and he'll probably feature in a couple of cup matches this season. Martinez is a center defensive mid, but I do have some plans to maybe switch up his position. He's featured quite a bit in the defense for Ajax, both at the center back and left back position, so maybe we look to use development plans there. Very similar to Alvarez. He's just going to be a bit lower of an overall than Martinez. Kudus is a new transfer to the Ajax squad. He recently arrived this summer. Looks very gifted at the center attacking mid position. Antony is another new addition to this Ajax squad. He arrived in the summer, and the Brazilian winger will offer some pace and skill moves from the right side. Labiad is kind of a rotational player in this Ajax squad, but he will be someone that I'm transfer listing. I like his statistics and how he looks in game, but in previous years, he hasn't scored a lot of goals for Ajax. To be fair, he's done a bit better this season, but unfortunately, we need to let some players go, and he will be added to the transfer list. Huntelaar is a bit of a veteran for Ajax, as well as his time in the Bundesliga. Doesn't have as much pace anymore, but he does still have the goal scoring abilities, so he'll be crucial if we need a goal in key moments. I'm not going to discuss all of our reserve players in detail, but you can take a look still at their statistics. I do still have a plan for some of them in terms of our future squad plans. They can certainly make their way into the substitutes and starting 11 if their overall reaches a high enough rating, but we'll see in due time. Quick rundown of the tactics. I ended up using this tutorial that should pop up on the screen right now. It's a pretty well put together video. I would recommend watching it if you want to get a detailed overview of these tactics, but we are using constant pressure for the defensive style with sets of 5, depth sets of 10, all the way up. So that should really compact our opponents in their own half as we look to win back possession. Speaking of possession, that is the offensive style we will be using with sets of 4, players in the box set to 7, corners we've got sets of 4, and free kicks also sets of 4. Pretty standard stuff for the roles. Tadic will be taking the majority of set pieces for us. The only exception is that right corners will be going to Klaassen. The instructions though are where things get very interesting. Because we are using such a high defensive line, we have Onana set to a sweeper keeper role. He's also going to be coming out for crosses more often than usual. Both of our fullbacks set to join the attack and overlap. And then the more attacking minded center defensive midfielder set to stay forward. Gravenberch, on the other hand, will be set to stay back while attacking. Tadic will play a crucial role for us at the center attacking mid position. The only instruction that we have changed is that he will be getting into the box for crosses along with both of our wingers. They have instructions set to come back on defense, cut inside, get in behind, and as mentioned, get into the box for crosses. The exact same instructions for Neres. And then finally, we've got our striker Traore. We have him on stay central, false 9, and then stay forward for the defensive support. Our board objectives will certainly influence who we select to be part of our squad and the kind of transfers that we make. It's not going to be the end all be all, but I'll try to keep our manager rating as high as possible. For youth development, that will be a critical objective for us. We need to sign 2 youth academy players assigned to the defender position, along with signing at least 3 players younger than 20 years old with potential greater than the average overall rating of players in that position. Long term, we do need to incorporate some of those youth academy players into our squad, featuring them in at least 30% of matches, probably in the following season. Brand exposure, we're looking to maintain a streak of 10 games with at least 1 goal scored in home matches and sign 1 young player to the squad. Financially, the board want us to sign 2 crucial players along with making a profit of 100 million. Domestically, of course, we need to win the league title along with the Oranje Beker or the League Cup. Finally, for the European competitions and the Champions League, we're looking to reach the knockout stage of that competition and within 3 seasons reach the quarterfinal. To be honest, I'm looking to do more than that. In terms of budget, we have roughly 30 million to work with. However, some of that will be going towards our youth academy. We start with a 4-star experienced 5-star judgment scout right off the bat. He'll be setting up a network in the Netherlands for 6 months, basically until the January transfer window, looking for any type of player. But over the course of this first season, I will be hiring 2 more experienced scouts, and I'll be relying on your comments to figure out where we want to set up a scouting network. So if you'd like to see your comment featured in the next episode, let me know what country you'd like me to scout and also what type of player. You can say our first signing of the career mode is straight out of the Ajax Academy. Frank Kuipers is a left mid, but he can also play right mid and center mid. A 16-year-old out of the Netherlands has potential of 80 to 94. 6'2", 165 pounds, and he is left-footed. Has that 4-star skill move, 4-star weak foot combo, and high-low work rates. Unfortunately, with the current state of things in career mode, homegrown talents are a bit glitched. You can tell from his torso, but we've edited the player, and luckily, things aren't too bad. He'll still be holding a red card in game, which is a bit funny to be fair. However, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. Anyways, Kuipers has potential to be special, so hopefully he can reach a high overall rating. I found in my previous career modes, these homegrown talents can reach a incredible world-class rating as long as you feature them often enough, so I will be trying to incorporate him as much as possible. He has all right pace statistics and probably will be someone that I feature more at the center mid position than wing, to be completely honest. But as his stats grow, we might use development plans to update his position to find out where he works best in this Ajax squad. In general, I try to get a better understanding of how the original squad plays before we make too many modifications to the starting 11. So for now, we'll make a squad rotational signing. We need more right-footed wingers in this Ajax team, and Mitchell van Bergen will be just that for us. He's been in the Eredivisie for a few seasons now, previously for Vitesse and currently playing for Heerenveen. I also like that he has 5-star weak foot, so he can play on either side. This transfer was completed for a reasonable fee of 11 million, agreeing to an important squad role for 5 years on 11 grand a week. Whenever I do make signings, I try to let the same number of players depart the club, whether that be on a temporary or permanent deal. We have 2 players leaving, with Bande going to Sampdoria on a loan. He used to have a lot of potential in career mode, but he did suffer an injury a few seasons back, and as a result, his potential also went down. Hopefully, dynamic potential can take over and he can play a role in this career mode. And for the reasons previously mentioned, I decided to let Labiat leave for Ligue 1. He'll be going to Marseille. In order to help keep this career mode realistic, I will be reviewing offers for some of our best players. I think in future seasons, we'll let at least one 80+ rated player go. We already started to receive offers for Tagliafico, but for this first season, I'm not going to part ways with any of them. We don't need the funds, and we've already lost a couple of players through the likes of Serginho Dest prior to us even starting the career mode. In order to help set us up for success and kind of cater players to how I prefer to use them in game, we will be adjusting a few of the development plans. Martinez will be becoming a center back for us. It's only going to take him 2 weeks to complete that modification. And for how we plan on using them in the squad, I'm going to let the left-footed players be right wingers for us. So Neres will be working on that development plan, and then Van Bergen will be converting to a left winger because he is right-footed. With the promotion of Kuipers through our youth academy and the signing of Van Bergen, this is what our starting 11 and substitutes will look like for the foreseeable future. We'll be highlighting a couple of matches in today's episode, starting with the first match of the Eredivisie season against AZ. In addition to that, I will be featuring one of the 2 Champions League group stages we play against every club. Our objective is to reach the knockout stage. Let's see if we can achieve that. We'll begin our gameplay highlights by recapping our preseason tournament performance, and we will feature a brief cameo from Southampton, our last career mode. They were in Group B, but our group consisted of Newcastle, Fulham, and Burnley. We performed pretty well against the Premier League opponents in our group, managing to win the group and advance to the final after defeating Deportivo Alaves in the semi-final. Unfortunately, though, Newcastle United did win the final of the competition after they defeated us on penalties. But I'll take that preseason performance as a positive. We've had a little bit more added to our transfer budget, and we'll also carry over a bit of momentum to our first Eredivisie match of the season against Ajax. There are very few opponents that would have made for a more difficult opening fixture, but this should be a good test for us, especially as we start thinking about Champions League. We'll have the first highlight of the match utilizing the get in behind tactics for our wingers. Neres with the effort on the near post, but saved well by the Ajax keeper. But here's the first look at our manager, pushing our players on to try to get that opening goal. Mazraoui playing the pass inside here to Neres once again. This time he will be fouled. It's a controversial call by the referee, but we'll absolutely take this penalty kick from the spots. Dusan Tadic, our club captain, to try to net us the first goal of the career mode. And we'll shoot this one to the right. Keeper goes to the opposite direction and will put us on the board. I have a feeling that Tadic scoring in this career mode will be a recurring theme, and hopefully we can maintain his rating as long as possible. The Ajax squad does have some quality players though, and they'll look to answer right back as Boadu links up with Stengs, and the Ajax winger will get in behind and equalize here in the 26th minute. We know how good he can be from our Southampton career mode, and he showcases his finishing right there. We're onwards to the second half as Tadic plays this ball in behind to Traore, spots out the run from Tadic, and we'll score a pretty sweet volley there to put us ahead once again. That's the nice thing about these tactics and formation. Our center attacking mid and striker are almost interchangeable, so I expect both Traore and Tadic will score a lot of goals for us. As we move on to the later stages of this match, you might notice some new players. We did make a few substitutions, and that is something we'll do a lot in this career mode. Squad depth is absolutely going to be crucial, and Kudus does score a pretty nice goal with the drag back, selling the defender one way and then going the opposite direction. It's not done though, as Ajax and Klasi will find the striker that was heavily suggested going into this career mode. Maybe we sign Boadu at some point, but for right now, I don't see that transfer happening because Ajax are trying to hang on to him. With this match still a little bit too close for comfort, we'll hold on to some possession and set Huntelaar up with an opportunity. It doesn't take much for him to score goals, as he pretty much ensures us the 3 points today on our opening league fixture. That's the type of goal Huntelaar is going to score a lot in this career mode, appearing as a late substitute when the defense is tired and scoring goals inside the box. Boadu almost gets one back, but it's a good defensive stop from Blind, and we'll get on a counterattack here as Antony plays through Tadic. He's trying to get his hat trick, and unfortunately it's saved well by the keeper, but Kudus will follow it up with the far post effort. That'll give us our 5th goal of the match. And in my opinion, every goal does count in this career mode. Come season's end, I wouldn't be surprised if goal differential does factor in. It's going to be a really close race between the top 4 sides in the Eredivisie. It's also good to see some of our substitute players like Huntelaar and Kudus get on the score sheet to keep their morale up, because we're going to call upon them several times in this career mode. Stats wise, I was pretty happy with how things went. It is difficult to maintain the majority of possession, especially on ultimate difficulty with competitor mode on, but we just about did that in this match. We'll turn our attention now to the Champions League. That is going to be a heavy focus in episode 1. Depending how we do in the next episode, whether we can advance to the later stages, I might showcase more league matches, such as our rivalry against Feyenoord or even against PSV. But for now, we'll turn our attention to Atalanta. They, of course, had a pretty good Champions League run last year, getting to the later stages. But from a ratings perspective, they do match up for the most part against us, maybe a few players and positions with a higher rating. But the away leg did end as a 1-1 draw. Gomez scored in the 90th minute to get the equalizer. However, I'm always going to back us at home. It's a different match entirely when we're at the Johan Cruyff Arena. Since switching the number of players getting forward on set pieces, I found it to be more of a viable tactic. Tagliafico nearly getting the opening goal of the match. However, his header was just wide of the post. Some good build-up play, though, in the 22nd minute as Tadic finds promise from the left wing. He will pass to Traore. Some good 1-2 play between Traore and Klaassen. And despite not being the highest rated striker, Traore knows how to score goals for us, and he will score the opening goal of the match. We've just got to give him some time, and who knows how he'll play once he reaches his peak rating. Atalanta are known to be an attacking side, so I have a feeling one goal will not be enough if we want to get the full 3 points from this match. And Gomez does well to square this chance across to Zapata. Onana just about was able to make that save. He did well to get a cross goal, but unfortunately, he was not able to get enough of the ball to stop that effort from going in. And it will be another chance for Atalanta here before the halftime break. Some good attacking sequence here as Malinowski plays this to Muriel. He'll go with the far post effort, and give Atalanta the advantage. The thing about ultimate difficulty is that momentum can change in a split second, and that was clearly the case here. But from my experience, the halftime break serves as a reset, and luckily that happened for us as Van Bergen, our new signing, cuts in from the left wing and will have some promising build-up. Unfortunately, Traore's touch wasn't the best, and it was saved from the Atalanta keeper. But defensively, we were much better, especially from Onana. He made some clutch saves in this match, including this kick save. And here we'll feature our first appearance for our homegrown talent. It still got the glitch where he's holding that red card, but it's more amusing than anything else. Here's a look at how he is on the ball. He's got some of those skill moves. He does have the 4-star combo, able to find Promes, some good 1-2 passing, and he'll actually get on the score sheet to equalize in the 68th minute. Maybe this is a sign of things to come. I'm still not sure what role Cowpers will play for us in this career mode. Of course, by default, he's listed as a left midfielder, but considering the players that we have available, I think he might actually serve us best as a center midfielder. Once again, we'll show how effective the counterattack can be for us. We're very aggressive with our center backs. Schure's winning back possession for us and marching the ball forward. It's a 3-on-3 at this point, and this is going to be a very intelligent pass to Van Bergen, playing through Neres, and an interesting take there to get it on his non-preferred right foot, but it still found the back of the net, and that also gave us the lead. In my opinion, this might be one of the most iconic celebrations of the career mode. There's something about us playing at the Johan Cruyff Arena and the atmosphere that we have in this career mode that makes it that much more enjoyable. Although momentum seems to be back on our side, we still need to maintain an astute defense and not concede another goal. Luckily, we do have Onana. He's been huge with those kick saves throughout the career mode so far. Although it is early days, I'm really excited to see what kind of rating and what kind of performances he can put in. But unfortunately, it could only last so long. A good initial save by Onana, but he was not able to stop the rebound from going in, as Atalanta will find the equalizer, and that means we only get 1 point out of this match. All things considered, a draw is not a horrible result, especially considered we also drew in the away match against Atalanta. We just need to make sure that we get some good results against our other group stage opponents, which we'll get to next. We do have a tough test in our next fixture, though, as we'll be traveling away to Anfield to take on Liverpool. They are, of course, known for some pretty impressive performances in the Champions League as well, and unfortunately, we didn't have the full fitness side available as congestion in the schedule led to 2 very tired center backs for us. Despite hanging on to the majority of possession in our home fixture, we still lost that match 1-0 courtesy of a goal from Mane. But all we can do is try to come together as a squad and continue playing the Ajax way. This match started off well for us. Right from the get-go, Neres plays this chance through to Tadic, who tries to get it on his preferred left foot, but it's a good block from Gomez. Liverpool answer right back in the 16th minute. Some quick passing play will give Thiago a good opportunity in front of goal. He squares it across to Mane, who finds the back of the net. Regardless of the result, this will be a good test for us, because if we were to advance out of our Champions League group, this is the kind of opponent we're going to play against every single match day. It seems like the right side of our attack is generating most of our opportunities. Once again, Neres playing through a ball, this time to Mazraoui, who tries to square across to Traore, but defended well by Liverpool. Traore linking up with Promes. Finally, we will get our opening goal of the match. He seems to be finishing most of these chances on the near post, but that's exactly what we needed. As long as this match doesn't get out of hand, I think there's always hope for us. As we transition on yet another counterattack, it's our fullback Mazraoui who will join the attack and try to loft in across here to Traore, saved extremely well from Alisson. It really was a battle between the goalkeepers in this one, both of them making some world-class saves. Onana closing the space on Roberto Firmino and making another stop. Now it's Tadic applying some pressure. The constant pressure tactics working out well for us, and this is a key opportunity missed. 9 out of 10 times it'll find the back of the net, but this time Tadic mishits it. We'll see if that ends up being costly for us as Liverpool continue their relentless attack. Wijnaldum, fairly familiar with us from his time playing in the Eredivisie, was stopped by Onana, and then a big reflex save here to help keep the match level. But we need to start changing the momentum and start generating some chances of our own. On the day, though, I think Liverpool were the better side. We didn't make the most of some key opportunities, which you absolutely cannot do against top-tier opponents. Liverpool will get the go-ahead goal, courtesy of Salah in the 72nd minute. And to be honest, we were lucky for that not to have happened earlier, had it not been for multiple saves from Onana. However, we'll witness some debatable tactics here from Liverpool. They've got a throw-in with just a minute left to play, and despite that, they were pushing forward attackers. We nearly have this through ball get past Henderson, but unfortunately it was not meant to be, and we will fall in this match at Anfield, unable to pick up points against Liverpool in the Champions League. But I don't think this team is far off. Maybe with some more improvements, we can fare differently in the future. Midtjylland, the team out of Denmark, may be the underdogs in our group, but we absolutely need to pick up 3 points in the match that we actually play, because unfortunately in the simulation we only managed a draw. Purely judging from the statistics, you would think that we were the better side, but Tadic unfortunately missed a penalty kick in the 89th minute. It was pretty clear from the start that we were looking to set the tempo of how this match might go. Some quick build-up play will lead to an opportunity for Tadic on his weak foot, hitting the crossbar, but we're right back with another chance, this time with Traore, and he seems to be most effective on those near post finishes. It's nothing too flashy from our striker, but that's exactly what I want. I just want someone that can net us a lot of goals. In my opinion, it's the positions that play around our striker that will generate the entertaining gameplay, as a chip through ball from Tadic nearly leads to a spectacular effort from Traore, but luckily he does rebound with the follow-up, and we still get the 2-0 advantage. Over time, though, as Traore's finishing gets better, we should be able to score some nice goals in this career mode. We're just 30 minutes into the match, and we're looking to net a 3rd goal. 8 of our players in the opponent's final 3rd, and this, to be honest, is a big chance missed from Klaassen. He's the more attacking-minded of our 2 center defensive midfielders, and I'm hoping he can do better given a similar opportunity in the future. And this is exactly why, because had Midtjylland done better with this chance, they could have easily cut the deficit in half. Luckily, we did make some key defensive stops on multiple opportunities as we finally get this chance cleared to Neres, who will apply some pressure and win back possession for us. These are the kind of opportunities that we need to make the most of. Just open space in front of Neres, and we can really utilize some of the pace that he does offer. This time optioning to cut inside on his preferred left foot, but it's a good save from the Midtjylland goalkeeper. Perhaps we should be up by a few more goals. Luckily, we did make a few key defensive stops like this goal line clearance as we look to get on the counter attack, winning back possession and sending this outward to Van Bergen, who's got plenty of space in front of him. Also has that run inside from Neres. Will just about time it right and finessing this one to the far post. Goal differential may have some impact on the final result of our group, so we're picking up the ball and looking to score some more goals in this match as Klaassen plays through Traore. I don't really use the low-driven shot too much in FIFA 21, but it seems to be working for Traore as he nets us our 4th goal. That will also be Traore's hat trick, and we've still got a few minutes left to play in this match. Our Youth Academy player Kalpers will once again feature centrally here in the final stages of this match. 88th minute, and it's going to be some skillful build-up play to give Traore his 4th goal. This kind of unselfish play is why I like the Ajax system. It's all about the team as a whole, and it doesn't matter so much who is scoring the goals. It just happened to be Traore in this match. Now that we finally picked up a win in the Champions League group stage, we'll see if that ends up being enough to allow us to advance to the knockouts. We had some close calls in the first half of Season 1, both for the Eredivisie and Champions League. Luckily, we are top of the table, equal on points with PSV, but we are ahead due to goal differential. And as expected, AZ and Feyenoord will round out the top 4. There's a pretty big jump between the top 4 and the rest of the clubs in Eredivisie. Unfortunately, because there is not a second tier of football in the Netherlands available in FIFA, promotion relegation won't really factor in, but this is still a look at the bottom half of the table. And it was a close call for us in Champions League, but we just squeaked by, finishing 2nd in the group with 6 points. Shout out to Atalanta, who got a draw against Midtjylland in that final matchday fixture. And it wasn't highlighted in this first episode, but we are still active in the Oranje Beker. If we reach the final of that competition, I will highlight it in the next episode. It looks like Tadic's form for Ajax has carried over to this career mode. He was our top goal scorer in the first half of Season 1. 19 goals from 22 appearances. Traore and Klaassen also managing to appear in the top 3. For assists, Tadic led the way, 7 assists from 22. 5 assists for Klaassen, and 4 assists for Neres. I'm extremely happy that this Ajax squad is better off now in terms of their overall rating than when we started this career mode. Some good growth across the board. We'll be keeping a close eye on Tadic to see when he starts dipping down in his statistics. Maybe then we will need to look towards other options at that center attacking mid position. But until then, Tadic will be our captain and will still feature in the starting 11. But I hope you all did enjoy this first episode of the Ajax career mode. I want to give a big thank you to all channel members for supporting the channel. If you're interested in joining the membership program, I have details of that in the link in the description. But also leave a comment about any transfer suggestions you have for episode 2. I'll really be relying on that as we look to improve this Ajax squad and prepare for Champions League in episode 2. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.